Someone doesn't reply to your message. 5 minutes pass, then 10, you check your phone again, nothing. You tell yourself you're not going to think about it. Then your brain quietly asks, did I do something wrong? A few seconds later, maybe they're upset. Then, what if they're losing interest? What's strange is that none of those thoughts came from new information. They came from your brain trying to escape one uncomfortable feeling, not knowing. Here's something most people never realize. Your brain may actually prefer believing a bad answer over having no answer at all. It sounds backwards, but by the end of this video, it'll explain almost every time you've ever overthought something. Think about the last time someone said, "Can we talk later?" That's it. No explanation, no context, just 4 words. How long did it take before your brain started writing an entire conversation that hadn't happened yet? Or maybe you've been waiting to hear back after a job interview, or waiting for medical test results, or watching someone read your message and never reply. Notice something. The waiting often hurts more than the answer itself, even when the answer isn't good. Why? Because your brain wasn't built to enjoy uncertainty. Thousands of years ago, uncertainty could get you killed. If something moved in the bushes, your brain couldn't afford to say, "Let's wait and see." It had to make a guess, fast. Sometimes it guessed wrong, but guessing wrong was often safer than not guessing at all. That survival system never disappeared. It simply found new bushes. Today, the bushes became your phone, a delayed email, a strange look from your partner, a meeting your boss suddenly wants to have. The threat changed, your brain didn't. The moment there's missing information, your brain rushes to fill in the blanks, not because it knows the truth, because it hates empty spaces. Think about that. Your brain isn't trying to predict the future, it's trying to end the uncertainty, and that's a huge difference. That's why your first thought is rarely, "They're probably busy." Instead, it's, "They're mad. I embarrassed myself. Something terrible happened." Negative answers feel awful, but to your brain, they're still answers, and answers feel safer than uncertainty. Here's where most people misunderstand overthinking. They believe they're solving a problem. Sometimes they are, but after a certain point, the goal quietly changes. You're no longer looking for the truth. You're looking for certainty. Pause for a second, because those are not the same thing. Problem solving asks, what information do I still need? Overthinking asks, how can I stop feeling uncertain? One searches for facts, the other searches for relief. That's why rereading the same messages never works. That's why replaying the same conversation 20 times never gives you peace. That's why imagining 10 different outcomes somehow creates an 11th. You aren't collecting new information, you're feeding a brain that keeps asking for certainty. But certainty isn't something your imagination can produce. It only arrives when reality finally catches up. That's why overthinking feels like running on a treadmill. You're working incredibly hard, without actually moving any closer to the answer. The people who seem calm during uncertainty aren't people whose brains work differently. Their brains ask the same questions yours does. They've just learned not to answer every single one. They've learned that, "I don't know yet," is sometimes the healthiest answer they'll ever give themselves. Because the moment you stop demanding certainty, your brain finally stops demanding more stories. The next time someone doesn't reply, or life leaves you waiting for an answer, don't ask, "What's the worst thing that could happen?" Ask yourself something else. Am I actually looking for the truth? Or am I just trying to escape uncertainty? That one question interrupts the entire cycle. Because overthinking isn't proof that you're broken. It's proof that your brain is doing exactly what it evolved to do. The goal isn't to stop your thoughts. The goal is to stop believing every unanswered question needs an immediate answer. If this changed the way you think about your own mind, subscribe for more psychology that helps you understand yourself instead of fighting yourself. And remember, your brain doesn't hate bad answers. It hates not having one.